Good afternoon, everybody. This is a live radar breakdown of the tornado event that's happening across the Arklatex, and it does look like that tornado threat is shifting just a little bit east with time, back toward the Texarkana area. There is a tornado warning just east of Texarkana right now that is approaching Interstate 30. Here you can see that tornado warning. That circulation is between Highway 82 and Interstate 30, and then these circulations back here. This one that's passing just to the west of the Magnolia area. You can see that little bit of a hook that's happening with that supercell storm. Hook-like appendage there just to the west of Magnolia, and then another tornadic storm just to the southeast of that. That's to the east of the Owens area. That tornadic storm will pass just to the west of the Good Hope area. And all of these supercells are along a convective line that is in the northeastern quadrant of a surface low, vertically stacked low that is almost behaving more like a tropical system than an extratropical cyclone. But here is that circulation that just missed Magnolia to the west, just passing Highway 371 there to the west of Magnolia. And then this is the next circulation, and this is moving a bit more right. So you can tell that this is a dominant storm, a little bit more intense. The right mover is moving a little bit closer to due north in this situation, and this circulation is going to pass between Owens and New Hope in the far southern part of Arkansas. And you've got another supercell that's getting going to the north of the Summerfield area that is not tornadic yet, but very easily could become tornadic. This one right near the Louisiana-Arkansas border is going to pass between Owens and New Hope, just to the west of the New Hope area. This is the dangerous storm that I've been tracking for a while that is now passing just to the west of Magnolia. Hooks, Texas. You have another tornado warning as well. This one is to the north of Dooley. This is just to the east of the Texarkana area. This tornado warning also radar indicated for southeastern Little River County. Also northeastern Miller County in southwestern Arkansas. Radar indicated moving north-northwest at 25 miles an hour. This is going to miss Texarkana Airport to the east, but it is heading in the direction of the Holman and Clear Lake Junction areas just to the northeast of Texarkana along Highway 67. A dangerous storm. You've also got a stronger circulation here near the Red River that's just to the northeast of that tornado warning that is in effect for the Hooks area. This one is passing into far southern Oklahoma. That's heading toward Wallace, Foreman. Keep an eye on that. This one's going to be in your area at about 6 o'clock in about 40 minutes. And then this storm still going strong to the southeast of the Hayworth area, just to the northeast of Good Lake. You've already had a couple rounds of tornadic supercells that have moved through. This one here is also radar indicated as of 5:12 p.m. southeastern McCurtain County in southeastern Oklahoma. That one's also moving off to the northwest. This one has a history of producing storms or tornadoes. And again, as I mentioned, all of these are along a convective line that is in the northeastern quadrant of a surface low, 850 low, vertically stacked within relatively weak flow that is behaving more like a tropical system than anything. Those are those tornado warnings just to the southeast of the Magnolia area. And here is the latest RAP analysis. This is centered over northeastern Texas here. This is surface-based Cape. You can see that surface low down here closer to the I-20 corridor. And then you've got these little lobes or noses of instability that are coming in within this convective line. They've been dominating the whole entire day with instability coming in from the east, looking back over to the west. And the reason I say that the tornado threat is shifting off to the east compared to where it was earlier is you can see that these winds are starting to become more northerly on the backside, and that's why you're getting more stable air that is beginning to dominate across southeastern Oklahoma and far northeastern Texas. These storms right here, though, still have unimpeded inflow from the east up here and from the south. So really, it's a convergence band here. And then you've got a low-level jet over the top of this out of the south-southeast at about 30 knots. I'm going to show you in a second. But it's interesting that these storms were forming along the nose of these instability, basically converging noses of surface-based instability there. Off to the south of it, it's a little bit more mixed, more of a southerly component to the wind. Off to the north of it, you have more of an easterly component, basically behaving as a pseudo-warm front during the day today. Looking at the 850 millibar analysis on the RAP, you can see basically due southerly, south-southeasterly winds. These are 25 to 30 knots over this zone here. This is across far northeastern Texas and the far southwestern Arkansas, far southeastern Oklahoma as well. Moving off to the north, that circulation did pass just to the west of the Magnolia area. Pretty dangerous storm. This is the effective storm relative helicity, showing that environment near the vicinity of that convective line where you have an enhancement of that low-level storm relative helicity, effective helicity in this case, 150 to 200, more than sufficient for even a strong tornado threat. I have seen a photo from the south of Red River near Lake Wright in northeastern Texas of a stout cone tornado, a very thick tornado that crossed Lake Wright. The Rescue the Universe guys have also reported seeing a tornado with that same storm up near the Hooks area. And they're continuing to chase these storms as they're moving just to the north of the Red River region. And it is this convective line now that has the greatest tornado potential as it's slowly shifting off to the east with these low-level winds developing more of a northerly component here back behind that zone, most favorable zone for tornadoes. And here is that photograph. This is what we took from the VAD from Shreveport. This is the autumnsky.us website, incredible website for plotting these photographs. And out of the Shreveport area, you can see that there was more of a south-southeasterly surface wind. That was located to the south of the convective line. And if you superimpose an east-northeasterly wind at low levels, that's when you get this long 0 to 1 kilometer shear vector going all the way up, a hook-like photograph here. It's more zoomed in with these VAD-derived photographs. You can see that we're only going up to about 7, 8, the mid-levels of the atmosphere here. This likely wraps a little bit further over to the right with that north-northwesterly storm motion right about down here, creating a critical angle that's probably about 45 to 60 degrees and a lot of storm relative helicity contained within that photograph curve and that storm motion vector right there. Let's go back to the radar now, start breaking down what the hell is going on out here across the Arklatex. Here you can see these tornado warnings, and actually that does include the far northern part of Louisiana, but it's lifted into Arkansas now. And as I mentioned, that tornado threat is shifting east. We still have this tornado warning to the southeast of Idabel, but I think the tornado threat is subsiding with that storm. This storm to the northeast of Texarkana is approaching Interstate 30. Let's look a little bit closer at the couplet. That couplet's getting very close to the Homan area. You definitely want to be in your safe place along Interstate 30 in Homan. Again, this is behaving more like a tropical cyclone, so you're probably not going to see this thing coming. Cloud bases are extremely low, but this is approaching Interstate 30 to the northeast of Texarkana. Homan, you want to be in your safe place. If you're a trucker headed northeast out of Texarkana on Interstate 30, I would stop and let this thing cross I-30 here in the next 5 or 10 minutes, and then you can resume your trek toward Little Rock. And this storm right here is approaching the Waldo area, also a very dangerous tornadic storm. There you can see that couplet. That is approaching Lumber, Waldo areas, Highway 98, far southern Arkansas. This is the same circulation that just missed Magnolia to the west that we are tracking all the way from that Louisiana border. And here is the circulation that is just to the north of the Louisiana border that is passing to the west of New Hope to the southeast of Atlanta. Probably a tornado right there too. These things are definitely producing. So if you see a tight couplet like that, I can almost guarantee you that it's got a noodle on the ground causing problems right now between Atlanta and a little bit closer to the New Hope area with that storm. But early on, these were just isolated beans. There was that one storm just to the south of Red River. That one produced a big tornado over Lake Wright that was taken by the fire department there out of Red River. This storm continues to move to the north, but look at these tracks. The ones that you can see that are more northerly, those are dominant supercells that are right movers. That means that their mesocyclone is a bit more intense than the other storms. That causes them to turn just a bit to the right. So I could see this circulation tightening up as well. It's located to the south of the Magnolia area, and since it does have that more northerly storm motion, it could impact parts of Magnolia. This one is also to the south of Highway 82 to the east of Magnolia, moving mainly off to a due north area toward Damascus, village areas, get in your safe place along Highway 82 in southern Arkansas, just to the east of the Magnolia area. But we're breaking down these tornado warnings. This is the Radar Omega app here. A lot more butter smooth with these updates, with the new base maps as well. Definitely functioning very, very well as I'm breaking down these tornado warnings to the west of El Dorado. And I do expect this one also to intensify and develop a tornado threat that is going to be approaching El Dorado later on. It's near the Farmerville, Louisiana area, but it needs to get a little bit closer to that stronger shear that's located over far southern Arkansas with those easterly winds at the surface, flipping around to a 30-knot low-level jet out of the south-southeast at about a kilometer up. And that's creating an atmosphere that is prime for supercell storms and tornadoes. Look at that concave structure there as this thing has just crossed Interstate 30 to the northeast of Texarkana. This thing has taken an inflow, east-northeasterly inflow at the low levels. Definitely a substantial tornado threat with this storm that has just crossed Interstate 30. It's crossing Interstate 30 now in the Homan area. So I'm pretty sure that this is a tornado in progress to the northeast of Texarkana. Big inflow zone. Very big inflow zone here. Let's see if it is. It says it's radar indicated as of 5:26 p.m. near Mandeville, 8 miles to the northeast of Texarkana. So it's a radar indicated tornado threat so far. Let's take a look at that correlation coefficient. Maybe some subtle drops there, but I really don't see anything that screams tornado as it was crossing I-30. In fact, most of that's just noise, as you can see. So it doesn't look like there was a radar-confirmed tornado crossing I-30, but a very strong mesocyclone, stout mesocyclone with this. These are similar to the storms that we see rotating ashore when we're chasing hurricanes or tropical cyclones. It's just about the only structure that you'll see when you're chasing a tropical cyclone, too. And you can actually comprehend the rotation at cloud base. But you can see this large inflow zone to the east of Homan. You definitely want to be in your safe place with that storm. This one now looks like it's back on the ground to the north-northwest of Magnolia. Waldo, get the hell underground, get in your safe place. This is a dangerous circulation here. That is just on the southwest side of town, passing between Lumber and Waldo. Near the Highway 82 and Highway 98 intersection, just to the southwest of the Waldo area. This is the street level zoom in from Radar Omega here, where you can see the individual neighborhoods that are experiencing certain conditions. This is on the southwest side of the Waldo area, passing between Lumber and Waldo. And then we've got this storm down to the south of Highway 82 that has a tornado warning as well. It's well to the north of the Louisiana border now, just to the northwest of New Hope, east of Emerson, heading toward Damascus. On Highway 82, you definitely want to be in your safe place as this thing's approaching from the south at about 25 miles an hour. And you've got another circulation here just to the east of New Hope that I'm watching for to see if it's going to be tornado warned as well. Yeah, look at this storm here to the east of New Hope. This is the next one to go down the line. This thing has unimpeded inflow from the east, definitely. A bit of an RFD structure here as well. You can see how that's concave in the other direction. Inflow notch. In addition, this is a dangerous storm. Let's look at echo tops, see just how high this storm is in the atmosphere. And you can see how it has higher echo tops than even the tornado warned storm. So this one is rapidly intensifying. Rotating updraft is starting to rotate even harder, and that causes those echo tops to spike. And look at this one. That spiked just to the north of the Louisiana border before that tornado warning was issued. So the updraft will intensify, boom, produce a tornado, and then they'll start to weaken once you get the occlusion process that happens. And this one is approaching Highway 82 just to the east of the Magnolia area. But look at this top now going up as it approaches Highway 82 to the west of the El Dorado area. This is the next one that's going to go. This one's going to start producing a tornado as well. We should see a tornado warning issued very shortly for this storm as it has unimpeded inflow from the east. There it is. Watch out here. And here's that other supercell with the RFD structure. I wish that I could draw on this. If you could see my arrow, I'd be showing you what these structures look like in here. And this one right here, zooming in, you can see that RFD structure just to the east of Highway 98 with that inflow happening. This one near Three Creeks, just to the northeast of New Hope, is a dangerous storm. This one's going to be tornado warned very soon. Very well defined. RFD inflow knot structure, weak echo region happening here. And just in this latest scan, the rotation is breathing a bit. But this one's going to be the next one to go tornado warned. Cairo on Highway 82. Cairo, you want to take shelter. Damascus, you already want to be in your safe place. This storm out near Waldo has just lifted to your northwest. Likely tornado there to the west of Highway 371. Pretty dangerous situation as well. And again, all of this is on a surface low, the northeastern quadrant of a surface low. Here's that wrap analysis that we talk about so often, showing those noses of Cape coming in from the east. So there's kind of some air that hasn't been tainted by convection, unmodified air off to the east, and that is wrapped in on the north side of the surface low as noses of instability with these tornadoes, tornadic supercells forming in bands today, southeastern Oklahoma and the far northeastern Texas, including a pretty stout tornado that happened over Lake Wright to the south of the Red River area. Probably the most substantial tornado of the day so far. And again, that tornado threat's going to continue to shift just a little bit east across far southern Arkansas, maybe even the far northern tier of north central Louisiana as well with that convective line. And then we should start to see the tornado threat begin to wane as we get a little bit closer to sunset, because these events are really dependent on just a little bit of heating, a little bit of daytime heating squeezing through just enough to weaken basically a non-existent capping inversion and to get a little bit of low-level cape. That's all you need, and then bam, you get these tornadoes. This is why you get so many tornadoes with tropical systems too. They're so dependent on low-level shear. You just need enough deep layer storm relative shear to evacuate that rain from the updraft, and then all hell breaks loose. This storm, continuing now to the north of Texarkana, has crossed I-30. So next in line looks like rural terrain along Highway 32. Okay, Long, Arkansas are next in line. Okay, Arkansas, you definitely want to be in your safe place off to the north of this system. Definitely a dangerous storm here, and I've been breaking this down and didn't even have the image pulled, and just in time for that new tornado warning that has been issued, and that's up along Highway 32 near the Long area, just as we were talking. Okay, I would also be in your safe place. Okay, Arkansas, I think this is more of a right mover, so I could easily see this mesocyclone heading in your direction. But basically east of Ashdown, near the Long area on Highway 32, you want to be in your safe place. This is a big inflow zone on this storm, so it does have a potential to even produce large tornadoes. Still radar indicated. It's funny to see those hail sizes near zero with these tropical environments. You don't have much of an elevated mix layer coming in. Very skinny cape with height as well. Should have chased this event. I decided to work on my wellness before I head off to the northern plains, the high plains up there, eastern Wyoming into western Nebraska near the Black Hills region. That's where I'm heading next for Tuesday, Wednesday. Should have gone back down to the jungle though. This reminds me of a system back in 2012 when the north side of DFW had a bunch of tornadoes. They happen a lot with these tropical-like systems beneath a large-scale ridge, almost behaving like tropical systems. This one is tornado warned now, Damascus area. And of course we were watching that storm just to the east of it. That's now to the northwest of Three Creeks. That's also approaching Highway 82. This one is the next in line to develop tornado potential. This circulation to the south of Damascus doesn't look as strong, but this is in a relative radar hole as well. And then let's go back to that one. This storm is just to the northeast of Texarkana. And this one is still warned in the far southeastern corner of Oklahoma, despite a relative weakening of those of the mesocyclone. I think this one is encountering those northerly surface winds, and it's definitely on the way out. I imagine that this tornado warning is going to be allowed to expire shortly in the southeastern corner of Oklahoma. But this one here, just to the northeast of Texarkana, dangerous storm. It passed through the Holman area along I-30 and now continues to intensify, heading across this terrain between Long and OK. I believe most of this, yeah, this is all the southwestern corner of Arkansas here. Here's the border with Oklahoma. So definitely a dangerous outbreak continues here across far southeastern Oklahoma to far northeastern Texas. And stay tuned on here. I'm going to keep going live. I definitely could. I'm trying to figure out the pointer on here. So we'll figure it out. Don with Radar Omega is also trying to design some tools here that I can use to draw. But this storm is moving off to the north, passing to the east of Ashdown, heading in the direction of Mineral Springs. Pretty dangerous storm, so definitely keep an eye on it. And thank you guys for tuning in to this live. I hope everybody stays safe out there. Definitely a dangerous day across the Arklatex, and it's going to continue probably for another couple of hours until we get a little bit closer and just after sunset, and that's when it's definitely going to start to subside. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Stay safe out there, dominate the storm, and I'll be back live with more updates here in a little bit.